Hey guys, and welcome back to the Ducks and Dogs podcast. My name is Mike here once again with my co-host Matt. How you doing out there today, Matt? I see you're back at school.
I am back at school. It's going pretty well. We start spring ball this week. That's exciting.
You can
Um,
participate this year.
I can. I can actually play the thing that I'm on scholarship to do.
I,
So
I bet your coaches are glad.
I'm so sure they are. Yeah.
Hey, so there hasn't been a lot going on. I wanted to let you guys know before we even dive into this episode, we're obviously going to go over what's been going on, but there's not a whole lot, especially considering, Oregon is still in the NIT for basketball. Okay, whatever. But Washington isn't in any tournament for it. Is Washington women's in any tournaments?
Oh no, they're worse than the men's team.
Exactly. And this isn't just an Oregon podcast, so we're not just going to sit here and talk about all of Oregon's sports when Washington's sports are all terrible besides baseball and softball.
Pretty much today will be like a quick recruiting update. Like that's really all it's gonna be because that's all we have to work with. So
And it might be a lot of that heading through the off season if we don't have anything to talk. Basketball season is over, that people will listen to that. If we do an episode solely on baseball or softball, it's going to have one view and it's going to be me.
two, because I'll watch it also.
Exactly. Two views. So there's truthfully, it's going to be a lot of recruiting coverage, any, news we can get or any fun topics we can think of, but those are even harder to come up with than I thought they would be.
Yeah.
So before we dive into it, has there been any recruiting news with Washington at all?
I have a couple sources. Matt has sources now. Shocker.
Sauces.
I know. He's tied in a little bit now. Rashada is pretty much completely off the table at this point. Agude is also looking not likely unless something changes very quickly. That's probably off the table. Again, this is all subject to change, just as of right now, is what I know. Also, for in-state recruits for Washington, they're getting a lot of attention from Washington staff, which is good, and people like the new staff. Winning this season is of the utmost importance if they want to build the fence like they're saying they're trying to do, which that coaching staff has said it's their main focus to build the fence around the state, which is good. They gotta win.
They could do really, really well, and it will be really hard to build anything more than a chain link fence.
I'm telling you right now, a lot of the in-state recruits are looking to next season to see if Washington is even going to be an option for them.
Yeah, exactly. So to be an option, that's not even mentioning putting a fence around it to where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to Washington. That is,
well, I mean, baby steps. You got to win for sure to even be in the conversation,
baby steps,
right?
Yes. But with the guys who are out west now, it's with Lincoln, mainly the elephant in the room, Lincoln at USC. It's going to be hard to. If Oregon wanted to build a fence in just Oregon, that would become hard. Landing guys like Keith Brown would be harder than it was.
Yeah, and even, I mean, Utah's been in talks for some of these Washington guys that are looking really good right now.
Yeah, that's
Miami's
tough.
in that mix. That is tough.
Utah's in talks to steal your players. That is tough.
Yeah. That's Jabari, by the way, for anybody that's curious. Jabari right now is really looking like Utah's the place for him. But we are earlier in the cycle. It could change. Everything's subject to change. They got to win. Huskies got to win. They got to have more than a 500 season if they want a chance at these kids, which honestly, after the season they had last year,
no guarantee.
It's definitely not a guarantee. It might even be a tall task. They have the talent on the roster. DeVore's got to prove that he's
50-50, I think. Quarterback's going to hold you back.
Yeah.
And it'll be tough, but it's going to be really important to make good impressions on a lot of these kids, because if you look at, speaking of recruiting, Oregon had their recent recruiting visit, and they just had Josh Connerly and Jaden Wayne on campus.
And Caleb Presley.
And And I believe with all three, I'm not 100% sure on Presley, Oregon's in a better position than Washington is for all three of them.
Yeah. I can't remember on Presley.
Presley might be 50-50 on that. But either way, it's not great in the state of Washington. You got to win. We've went over this a million times. He's got to win out there. Kalen DeBoer has to win.
But it's even more so than we've mentioned before. It was oh yeah, he's got to win. That's a given. It's not a given anymore. It is a fact.
It's
recruits
required.
Have talked to people about this. It is no longer just oh, you should probably do it. You have to. You have to win to land these recruits now going forward for 2023. If you can't do it in 2023, recruiting down the road is going to be a bit rough. Like 2024's got some dogs in the state that you really want to land. Like it's already the.
And you could say it was misworded all you want, but when one of the better players in your state is saying, and quote, I can do better for myself.
Yeah.
I don't care how misworded that is. When it comes out like that, there's a reason it came out like that.
Yeah.
It's not a great spot they're in. They have some momentum. You know, they hired a new staff. New staff always brings momentum. Whether the fan base likes the hire or doesn't, recruits are like, okay, fresh slate. Cool. Let's get it going.
And they have some half-decent momentum. They've landed some good transfers this cycle. It's obvious that the recruits are actually paying attention to Washington again, you know, like they had with Peterson.
Or at least looking at them.
People are taking notice, and they're like, hey, like, I like what this staff's got going on. Got to see if they're worth a shit, though. That's what people are waiting for. And we kind of got ahead of ourselves with Jimmy Lake and his staff, and look how that turned out. Like, everybody's kind of just holding back, saying, hey, whoa, like, is this the guy? Got to make sure this is the guy. And I personally love DeBoer. Like, I hope he does well. He's a great football mind. Guy's got to recruit. He's got to. He's got to find a way to win and then recruit.
My thoughts, I just now thought of this, so this might be a little misplaced, but DeBoer might be one hire too late. Like, he should have been the hire Jimmy Lake was. He's a guy who could take over a talented roster and win with it and then maintain that momentum. He's not going to develop a talented roster. He's not going to just build a roster by being a recruiting workhorse going out there and landing all these elite players.
I will say the strength staff that has come in has done a phenomenal job with those guys. The people he has built around so far has developed pretty well. Obviously, don't know how that translates to the field yet, but like strength and like, you know, build wise, guys are putting on weight. They look really good. Like that strength program got them right this winter.
Yeah, so you just gotta hope it doesn't end up like Oregon was having issues with. Guys were putting on muscle and looking really good, but couldn't stay healthy.
There's a balance. You have to be athletic still.
And for some of them, like for instance, Flo, people were talking about, oh yeah, it was Feld's fault. He was hurt. No, it wasn't. And they were freak injuries on walkthroughs. That man was still as athletic as he was in high school when he put on that weight. He was going to be a beast. So. Yeah. And Feld, he left Oregon. There's no need to be salty. He's still regarded as one of the best strength coaches in the country.
Yeah, he's doing good things at Miami, I'm sure. Like
he's gonna do good things wherever he's at. Whether Miami succeeds or not is a whole different story. But I don't think it's gonna be in fault or solely blamed on Feld if they don't.
No, I agree.
He does his job well. So yeah, going past on that. You know, we have recruiting for Oregon. They had that big weekend where they had multiple 5 stars on deck. They had a lot of guys visit. Nico was not one of them, but Nico, we already touched on, I believe, last episode that he's starting to lean more Tennessee. Speaking of Rashada, if Nico does go to Tennessee, that would all but guarantee Washington had no chance at Rashada.
I'm just saying the stuff that fell through with his brother transferring, like...
Oh yeah,
played a big role, and it's pretty much like done deal now. Like very slim chance. Again, things could change. Always that little asterisk, but right now it's they got to look elsewhere for quarterback.
There's a quarterback in the state that you're still not leading for, but hey.
Yeah. Nice to have Jabari, but go Utes, am I right?
So speaking of that recruiting weekend, I'm not 100% sure both were there. I believe Jurion Dickey was, but Oregon has gotten 2 crystal balls from Steve Wiltfong for Jurion Dickey and Kyler Casper out of the class of 2023. One is 6'2", 210-pound athlete. The other is 6'5", 195-pound wide receiver. Both are really solid gets, both rated somewhere in the 9.4s for the composite ratings, which is really good. 94 That's something. Good. Kyler is nearing 95. I think he's like 94.9, 94.8, something like that. So those are some really solid plays. And I do know, just for those who are listening now, at around 2 this afternoon, Greg Biggins did put in a crystal ball with 8 confidence of Nico to Tennessee, which is significant. Greg Biggins is the West Coast, one of the West Coast recruiting guys, him and Brandon Huffman. And with Greg Biggins and Wilt Fong having picks in for Nico to Tennessee,
seems pretty likely at this point, along with that freaking NIL deal that's been thrown around of $8 million.
Yeah, I think it's over for the full 4 years though, is the thing.
Okay, but
But I mean, given what quarterbacks have been getting, look at what Caleb Williams just got to go to USC for a
you're
single.
still paying an 18-year-old kid $2 million a year. Like, holy
There are
shit, dude.
plenty of 18-year-olds to make that. How much do you think LaMelo would have made if there was NIL and he went to college?
Oh, a bunch.
Or
But like,
Zion?
I'm telling you, like the money still like just because it happens doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah. But I'm saying it makes sense when it's for guys like quarterbacks in college or for stars in basketball. It's not going to be a terrible investment for them. It's not going to end up being horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks as of right now, things obviously, as Matt had said with the other players for Washington's recruiting, things could change with Nico, especially once he gets on field for the Oregon official visit. It did look like Tennessee went absolutely all out, and when he visited Oregon, obviously it was a recruiting visit, so they were pushing for him, but it didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary for Oregon. It's just like, hey, you're one of like 50 kids here.
They had that entire basketball stadium chanting his freaking name. Tennessee basketball's like an insane brand. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You got that kind of buzz around a program you're not even going to be involved in. Ooh.
I wish we had him for an official before our basketball season was pretty much over. I mean, we don't even have our players showing up for games, let alone fans. So, so yeah, it would be nice. But I do think it's going to really hinge on that Oregon visit. Once he officially visits, they could pull out all the stops and Mariota was in Eugene this past weekend. If Mariota is on campus when Nico is on there, that would be Nico idolized Marcus Mariota. And a lot of players out west do idolize guys like Marcus Mariota. So it could play. Yeah, it could play a factor, but as of right now, it's obviously leaning towards Tennessee. And I don't know if you saw yesterday Brandon Huffman's pick for Utah to Gabari.
Yeah.
That's why you're basically referencing Utah?
Well, I even knew that a couple of days before that, but it was pretty much we were just waiting for somebody to make an official prediction on it.
Yeah, and Utah is actually trending for a 5-star too.
Yeah.
A wide receiver.
Utah's picking it up.
What is his name? Carnell Tate.
Yes.
Carnell Tate out of Bradenton, Florida at IMG Academy. Utah just got... Oh, that's not Utah. That's Ohio State. I am tripping. Never mind. Ignore that. I said nothing.
They played each other. They have that in common. They played in the Rose Bowl.
They're red and white on the logo, you know.
Got some... I guess Ohio State's got the silver, but, you know.
Close enough, you know.
Close enough, dude.
Anyone who's listening to the podcast, don't mention that. Fuck you. Shut up.
Go Utes, though.
No. But yeah, Oregon's recruiting is looking really well. Oregon's in the NIT for basketball. They did not look like they wanted to be there at all and still beat the brakes off of Utah State, who is like was the 46th team in the Ken Pom.
Yeah.
It's really a shame that they ended up in the NIT because you just seen with how they beat Utah State. Like, this team doesn't deserve to be in the NIT. They shouldn't be in the tournament, but they had their chance.
I would love to see the A&M and Oregon game if they end up playing in the NIT, bro.
It'd be fun.
A&M is pissed off that they didn't get in. Holy cow. And then Oregon's talented, obviously.
Oregon just does not care right now. They're just like, man, we done with this shit. Oregon's going to be stacked in basketball next year.
Mm-hmm.
They have like 5 or 6 5-stars on the team.
Nice.
Let's hope we don't pull a Washington.
Yeah, one of their guards just entered the portal, so got that going for him.
One of your better players?
And he didn't really play, so kind of makes sense. But
to be fair, do you have better players?
Well, considering Brown is graduating, no.
Oh, shoot! Oregon actually got crystal balls for another 5-star basketball player, Mookie Cook, a small forward out of Arizona. Oregon just got recently 2 crystal ball picks for him.
Nice.
So yeah, recruiting is looking good, but you know, nothing else. Otherwise,
hey, if it looks good, that's all that matters, right?
If it looks good, but yeah, that's honestly, truly about all we have to cover. And this episode,
we could do a little March Madness pick if you filled out a bracket. We could.
I did not. Throw me some games and I'll pick them right now.
Oh, geez. Well, I was just gonna say who you got in your Final Four and winning the whole
Final
thing.
four. Hold on. You talk who you got, and I'll find out who I got.
All right, so Matt knows ball tournament challenge bracket here. Reading off what I got, of course, no truck stops winning my damn basketball tournament. I got Arizona taking the whole thing. I don't think that's a surprise. A lot of people have that going. Um, and also I got UCLA in my Final Four. I have Texas Tech in my Final Four. I have Iowa making a run to the Final Four. So, and then I got Texas Tech and Arizona playing in the finals. Um, yeah, that's about it. Some other notable things I have happening. I have UAB, Virginia Tech, Loyola, Chicago, Creighton. All those
Well,
teams making the Sweet 16, which are all underdogs.
Loyola not doing nothing without Jane.
They'll be fine, bro. The only thing is, here's my thing though: Loyola, Ohio State. I think whoever wins that game is going to go on a run because Ohio State is stacked. They got talent, and Loyola is kind of a sleeper team at 10.
Shoot, everyone wants me to sign up for something to see a bracket. I don't want to sign up for nothing. Oh, printable. Thank you, Athletic. We love
You
you.
could just say the Pac-12 teams are going to make it. That'd be your easiest option here.
Yeah, but I want to be for real. I'm scrolling through these teams real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So out of the East, I got. You know what? I'm gonna take a not full Cinderella, but sort of Cinderella. They're not a 1 through 5 or anything, but they are the 6 seed Texas.
You're taking Texas. I've seen that pick quite a bit. People like Texas this year.
I'm taking Texas in the West. Ooh, I like this one. I'm taking. You know what? I wouldn't actually bet them, but I'm just gonna say this for the memes. Texas Tech.
Yes,
Texas
sir.
Tech versus Texas in the Final Four after
Love me some
the coach
Texas Tech defensive basketball.
after the coach flip flop.
Flipped. Yeah, that'd be insane. That would be a fun game.
And then I got who's in this division? Let's see. Ooh, do I wanna I don't know if I want to take Arizona or if I want to take the Fighting Nikos.
The fighting dude, Tennessee looks good too. I like them a lot. I think if
How
those
they
two
how
teams
they were a
play,
3 seed is nuts.
yeah, I mean they lost some games along the way. The end of the season though, they just looked so strong. They looked so good, dude.
Back to pack and fucking Tennessee for taking our quarterback. Arizona's making the Final Four out of that bracket.
There you go.
Guaranteed. And the bottom bracket, I could care less about any of these teams. So who sounds fun to make it to the Final Four? Who the fuck is Colgate? Is that toothpaste?
I have them beating Wisconsin round one actually.
I could beat Wisconsin in round 1, but anyways, who the hell? I could care less if any of these teams make it, but I'm not gonna pick the one, and I'm not gonna pick fucking Auburn.
USC's in that bracket.
Yeah, I know.
Miami's in that bracket. You're like a pseudo Miami fan. You shook hands with Mario Cristobal.
I'm tired of you, Matt. I'm done with you, Matt. I'm done with you. You
The
know
Crystal
what?
Ballers, bro. Send it.
Do I send it Crystal Ballers or send it Super Cinderella?
Oh, either one.
Hmm.
We're making brackets in the middle of our podcast.
Yeah, we're doing it. Super Cinderella. I'm taking Jacksonville State to the Final Four.
Is that the... Oh, it's a 15 seed.
No, because Texas Southern, I don't even know where the fuck they're at.
It's south of Texas, I bet.
Obviously, Jacksonville State's in Jacksonville, but not Florida. They're
Bro, watch out for my
Alabama.
Jackrabbits round one. I'm just saying.
Where's South Dakota playing
State.
at? Yeah, I already know. I already know
They
who
play-
your Jackrabbits are. You
They
talked
play
about them.
Providence, which is actually a winnable game from them. And I'm just saying, South Dakota State is the highest 3-point percentage make percentage
Listen,
in the country right now.
Oregon's gonna win the NIT and then somehow sneak their way into the March Madness Final Four and win it all.
It's gonna get to the Elite Eight, and a team's just gonna drop, and Oregon's gonna show up in their uniforms.
Exactly. So if all these teams make it, it would be Texas Tech versus Texas, Jacksonville State versus Tennessee.
Oh, I thought you took Arizona.
Oh yeah, Arizona, because back to pack. Okay.
Yeah, and also the Fighting Nikos.
So I got Texas Tech beating Texas to make the national championship to play against out of Alabama, Jacksonville State. They would be playing in the national championship, and then Oregon comes in and wins it.
After, yeah, the national championship ends, all the lights turn off, and Oregon walks out of the tunnel. You're not done yet.
You're not done yet. Yeah, bro, like fucking some end of a video game shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hold on. I got a bone to pick with this fucking committee. You're dead ass telling me you'd rather have Texas Southern, Norfolk State, Wright State / Bryant. Who the fuck are they? And Georgia
Half of those
State.
are auto bids, though. You got to remember.
Fuck their auto bid. Take it away. Okay.
If you're talking, KenPom, I think Oregon gets in. I think Colorado gets in. I know Oklahoma gets in.
Okay, you got
I'm
Delaware.
pretty sure A&M also gets in.
Fucking Jacksonville State. Who the fuck is St. Peter's? I don't even know. Up here, who the fuck we got at the fifth? CS Fullerton? That don't even sound like an actual college. That sounds like a law firm. Like,
the law firm ballers.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Matt, if you had to bet your life on it, how many of these teams would you guarantee would beat Oregon? In the whole bracket. Guarantee.
At least half of them.
The whole half of the whole bracket guaranteed beats Oregon?
Yes.
One of the number 1 seeds barely beat Oregon.
And they do it again.
Barely beat Oregon. Oregon keeps it close with every single team in this entire bracket.
I'm telling you, they'd lose to Baylor by 2, and then they'd lose to
Delaware by 2.
Longwood by 2.
So Oregon football has invaded the basketball program, is what you're saying right now.
It's a culture.
It's just a culture thing. Like we're especially in the South Division or like the Midwest, we're smacking we literally smacked half of those teams. We embarrassed so many of them teams. Why we gotta choke?
Couldn't tell you, man.
Why we gotta take a 2 when a 3 wins the game?
Those damn buffs.
It's not even those damn buffs. It's players showing up one day and then looking like me the next.
Michael Black, starting guard for the Oregon Ducks.
Would have put the same fucking numbers up. Yale fucking made it. Yale. You telling me them white motherfuckers playing basketball out there?
Attack of the Nerds, bro. It's the prowess.
That's like, see, well, you know, I guess sports teams are obviously different. But when this school's enrollments are like fucking 94%, when all white guys like BYU, like, why would we lose to these teams? Like, why are they better than us? I don't understand. If we lose to BYU, in football next year, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I don't know what.
Book, bro.
And I mean, they're a good team, so it'd be an understandable loss. But from my perspective, it would not be.
I already know you're gonna be talking shit all week too.
Oh, for
I already
sure.
know.
Fuck BYU fans. Fuck BYU.
You're gonna have all the Mormons out for your head if they win that game.
Bro, they don't have internet.
They're Mormon. They're not Amish, dude.
Same fucking difference. Same fucking difference. Wait, are the Mormons the Jehovah's Witnesses? They are. Yeah, they're the ones who be walking up to your door like, you want to meet the Lord? No, but you will if you keep knocking on my fucking door. Hate them.
There's a difference, actually.
Nobody gives a fuck. We don't like any of them. Let's be real.
We don't need this to be a theology lesson. Also,
Theology,
if you are watching this podcast and you are a Jehovah's Witness or a Mormon, we don't actually hate you. We are joking. Mike might not be joking, but I can speak for myself.
So, Mormon probably don't hate you. Jehovah's Witness, go fuck yourself.
Hey, don't knock on my door.
Nobody wants to talk to you. Like, just stop doing that. Nobody wants you to do that.
Oh,
nobody.
No. This is gonna resurface in 2 years.
Oh, it's going to. And guess what? I don't give a Fuck.
Well, at least you
Let's end
admit
this
it.
podcast here before it costs us no.
I've already saved my ass, so say whatever you want, Mike. It's fine.
Hey, well, we want to thank you guys for watching this episode of the Ducks and Dogs podcast. Let's be real. If you made it this far, you're probably Owen. We miss you, man. Come back.
We need your piss bags, dog.
We need them. We need you to piss back. You weren't even going to piss back the Mormons?
Oh, that's a missed
That's
opportunity.
depressing. All right, well, this is the end of this podcast. This is the Ducks and Dogs podcast. We're D&D because we're depressed and delusional. That's how we do shit around here. All right, guys.
So true.
We'll see you in the next episode. This is Mike and Matt signing off.
Later.